Sure. Thanks for having me, Aaron. This is a wonderful experience. I'm Kelly McDonald. I'm a Northeast representative. I'm a regional account manager, so to speak. I represent all the states north of Virginia um, as far as Air Things for Business. Air Things for Business is all about empowering the air we breathe. So this is important to us. As myself, I am been in the industry for a number of years, both on the owner investor side as well as the tenant side or occupier side, and have had a lot of experience around the prop tech technologies from financial systems as well as building management systems like we have at AirThings. So uh, great having me. I appreciate it, and we'll just do a handful of slides, and we'll continue our conversation if it's relevant to get a little exposure to our dashboard. So in terms of air and the air quality, we spend 90% of our time indoors. Uh, that is sometimes 2 to 5 times worse than the air outside. One of the facts that they say is that we breathe about 80,000 breaths a day, and we're more concerned people are about what we eat and that type of thing and what we drink, and not necessarily the air we breathe. And Air Things is all about understanding the quality of your air and what you're seeing the invisible, so to speak. So, just some of the facts that we know, and there's been many studies that back this up. A poor indoor air quality leads to tiredness, depression, anxiety, asthma, allergies, loss of concentration, loss of productivity, skin irritation, respiratory issues, virus transmission. All of these things affect kids in school as well as productivity in the workplace. So we have seen studies, and there's examples of attendance increasing as well as performance and concentration levels increasing when they have better air and the ventilation rates are increased inside some of the classrooms that we see today. On the other side is the business side of things, and the productivity associated with clean air that you have from an employee retainage and employee attractiveness. Some of our bigger Air Things for Business customers are office building owners, and they're using this as an amenity for the leasing folks to let them know, geez, we've got great air in our building, let's promote this, right? So there's two different things that Air Things is really about. We're about health and wellness, so really managing that air inside your building and making it as good as possible and monitoring that air. And then the other side is the building management side of things, and understanding the efficiencies that you can gain by understanding those air qualities that necessarily weren't exposed before. So understanding things like overheating and overventilating rooms, understanding occupancy and when it should be relevant to turn on a damper or turn off a damper based on time, not necessarily, or based on schedule, not necessarily a scheduled time or fixed time. So two different sides of the coin here, but we're here to promote both the health and safety piece, but also the integration to building management systems that we have in the idea of managing office and the efficiencies associated with those large office buildings in municipalities, et cetera. So just our obligatory company slide. We've been founded in 2008. We're basically a veteran in the industry. We're about 140 employees, 34 million in revenue in 21, and we're growing. We've seen a lot of penetration in the last couple of years in terms of the interest in the U.S. around this product. Most of our business is in the U.S., although we're out of Oslo. We have a big support office in Fort Worth, Texas, that helps manage our consumer product as well as our business product. The consumer product is sold on with dealers as well as through some of the off our website and some of the major retailers. But today we're really talking about Air Things for Business, which is both operate similarly. There's a little bit of nuance that's different in terms of the connectivity, and I'll point that out when we go through it. But yeah, the company is got a couple of accolades here in terms of Times Best Inventions and some of the practice awards that we got from Frost and Sullivan. Know that there are a couple certifications that we works with well is similar to the LEED certification. It's a if you use our devices in your building and you're working with a works with well certification, it can move you up from a bronze to a gold or up to a different level in terms of that certification. And then the reset piece is equivalent to like the underwriter's laboratory. It's a standard, an international standard for IoT devices that we adhere to. So at the end of the day, what Airthings is a hardware-enabled software company, right? We're able to provide additional insights that you weren't necessarily visible or aware of in the past, and be able to provide some actionable insights to control and manage that air in a better way. And having that energy consumption, as well as the idea of integration to the building management systems or your data mart, data lake, whatever you have from a data perspective, we can integrate with those as well. So the difference is that we're really looking at it as this as a monitoring solution, where you're gaining insights in terms of what your current air quality is like, and we'll monitor that air, and you'll come up with sort of the steps to go through this. The second step would be to test and remediate that air, right? Come up with some actionable items, whether it's simply opening a window or whether it's putting in the proper filters, reducing or increasing your ventilation rates. These are all steps that you can take, and then we'll continue to monitor that air. Once you get further down the road, we'll actually be able to integrate with these BMS systems and have that fully integrated to get those readings directly to those systems. From a solutions perspective, the company is, like I said, we're testing the invisible, so we can measure radon, particulate matter, humidity, CO2, VOC, noise, light, temperature, pressure. And with those physical metrics, we're actually able to come up with virtual sensor. So from those change in CO2 and light and temperature, we're able to measure mold risk or occupancy, things like virus risk, in just recently ventilation rates. So all of those physical elements help us lead to these virtual sensors. This is just a quick slide on what sort of those virtual sensors. It's an algorithm based on those metrics that we're tracking from a physical perspective to come up with things like occupancy and mold risk. The infrastructure itself, in terms of Airthings for Business, is to the left. You'll see the devices. The devices cover about 2,400 square feet of open air. They're all battery powered. Some of the larger devices do have an AC USB-C plug in the back. The flagship product, the Space Pro, does, as well as the CO2 product. But the idea is to keep them off your company network, and with that we use a wireless protocol we call SmartLink that connects to a hub. The hub has a SIM card that is a cellular connection to the cloud. And the cloud is an AWS North American cloud that's pretty GDPR rated and has integration directly to our dashboard, as well as the API. So an open API is available for you there that allows you to access our data and, like I said, integrate it to your own data mart or data lake. So this is sort of a differentiator slide. This slide sort of just talks about our in terms of the solution itself. It's really simple to install. There's a QR code on the back of each sensor. You download an app from your phone and scan in that QR code, and it'll walk you through a wizard-like setup to implement or install these devices. You simply install with a couple command strips or Velcro strips in the back, and as long as they're at breathing level, not near a window or a damper or a ventilation unit, you can put them in a place to start monitoring immediately. So real simple, easy install. It's wireless, cable-free, comes off your company network, stands alone. Long battery life. Some of our devices have a battery life of 20 years. Others have 2 to 4 year battery lives. And then the cellular connection is a differentiator for us in terms of the network capability. All the data is encrypted, and there's a professional dashboard that we'll look at real quick that shows you this data in a real robust manner. In addition, not listed here is our services and support team down in Texas. They do a really good job with us in terms of managing our client base. So from a product perspective, we'll just walk through a handful of these products. The Space Pro, like I said, is our flagship product. This product measures PM, CO2, VOC, humidity, temperature, pressure, light, and noise. The display is configurable. Some people do not want to even have a display. You can leave it blank if you'd like. But it does have a USB-C plug in the back if you'd like, but it is battery powered. The batteries, depending on how often you're sampling and what you're sampling, can go from 2 to 4 years. And this product is reset and well certified. The Space CO2 solution, this is a CO2 focused solution. It's battery operated as well, has a 10-year battery life, measuring CO2 temperature and humidity, light and noise. It does have a configurable display, and the virtual sensors associated with that are things like occupancy and virus risk. And then the CO2 Mini, this is has a 10-year battery life. It's about the size of a hockey puck, and it is really a great solution to put in a kind of a clandestine way to get an idea of the air quality in some of the rooms, as well as some of the offices and classrooms. You can get things like CO2 temperature, humidity, and pressure with this, as well as light and noise. So that's an effective tool. It's sold in a 4-pack solution. The Space Plus, this is our radon-focused solution. In addition to radon, it measures CO2, VOC, humidity, and temperature, pressure, and light. It can give you things like mold risk and virus risk, as well as occupancy. It doesn't have a display, but it does have a wave in front of it, so you can set the tolerance limit. So if you wave your hand in front based on the tolerance limit, you can set whether it goes green, yellow, or red based on the indoor air quality that you configured. The Space Nano is our latest product. This is a induct solution that's used for a number of different use cases. It comes in a 2-pack. It's IP64 rated, so it has a 20-year battery life, and it can handle extreme temperatures and humidity. It can be mounted outside as well as inside, and it can also be mounted in duct or in your HVAC before or after a filter to measure the air quality. So humidity, temperature, pressure, and lux is measured here, and we're calculating mold risk in this solution. And again, it's really built for those hard to get places or less occupied places, things like your basements and your storage rooms, server rooms, the idea of being able to understand the humidity levels in some of those places. Down the road, we'll have differential air pressure calculation capability. So the idea of what we call dark sites will work, this solution would work great with. Like I said, it's available in a 2-pack, has a 20-year battery life. It's IP64 rated, and it can have extend temperatures between -22 and 140 degrees. The hub is our solution that connects the sensors together. The Space Hub works through a cellular connection. There is an Ethernet cable available if you had bad cell service. It is a powered device. It isn't battery operated. It is the only powered device here, but it covers about 25 to 30 devices, and the range can be up to 3,500 square feet. It'll go through two to three layers of concrete, as well as 8 to 10 sheets of sheetrock. So the idea is to put this somewhere in the center of a building and be able to take all those various sensors and sync them to this device. And this is just a quick page that shows a summary of the devices that we have. So again, the Space Pro, our flagship product, covers most of the physical metrics we're tracking. The CO2 Mini is our 10-year battery life. It doesn't have a display, but it will measure pressure as opposed to the Space CO2 solution, which is more of a in-house display-based solution. And then the Space Nano, which is our latest product with a 20-year battery life, as well as Space Plus, which is the radon testing tool and all the variables it will test. The tool comes with a dashboard. So with each sensor, you'll have access to our robust dashboard, which will give you capability to monitor your air as well as analyze and get alerts and notifications, as well as manage your buildings overall, look at manage buildings by exception, explore reports and results, as well as the ability to set up, for example, a QR code and have a report surfaced on that. So literally send somebody a QR code or put one on a window and be able to surface any report that you see fit to that audience. A number of different reports here that we have out of the box. All the data is available via CSV as well. We'll track all your historical data as well as your current real-time activity, and you'll be able to report on that, as well as the access to the dashboard and the alerts and notification capability are a number of different ways to kind of get the word out on the IAQ or indoor air quality. The product is got a few different use cases that are, or sort of case studies that we can talk about real quick here. The government of Quebec uses our solution in over 10,000 classrooms. They're monitoring 260 schools using our solution. We have the LA School District that's moving on to us with over 5,000 sensors purchased, as well as a number of Fortune 4 companies that have used our solution in the last couple of years. From a K-12 perspective, East Porter School or East Porter County School used us and went from a automated monitoring to a scheduled monitoring solution that allowed them to have an increased savings in terms of their energy costs, and they're using AirThinks to measure their air quality associated with that. And then one of our bigger clients, JLL, is using us as a partner, but they're also using us in their offices in Chicago. They did a study here with our competitor and compared the install of a battery-powered off-network device versus a wired device, and it was something like $1,800 savings per sensor, a total of about $135,000 sensor. They did 2 parallel installs, 73 devices in one building, 73 devices in another, and the difference was $135K in installation fees. So pretty significant. The product is sold in a number of different ways. From an AirThings perspective, we work with a number of resellers. Our closest one to us is Aaron Rice here, and his contact information is here. If you need to look into more into what AirThings provides, we're happy to. You can contact Aaron, or you can contact me, and I can get you over to Aaron. But with that, I wanted to thank you for your time, and we look forward to working towards a better, cleaner environment for all of us.
That was awesome, Kelly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate your time. I often tell the story about how AirThings saved my life. I think I told you this story, but I'm going to say it real quick for those that aren't aware. Um, it was recommended by a book that I read. It's right behind me, called Healthy Buildings, written by Dr. Joseph Allen and Professor John McCumber out of Harvard. And they recommended air quality monitors to test for radon. So me not knowing any better, I put the AirThings sensor monitor in my bedroom. I should have put it in the basement, but I put it in my bedroom, and we left it there for about 30 days. And our radon levels were between 15 and 20 picolaries, which the EPA says equates to smoking 20 to 40 cigarettes a day. We've been here for 25 years, okay? And our son, who just graduated from Towson, lives in our lower level of our home where radon emits the most from the basement. So we've since gotten our property mitigated, but had I not read the book, had I not purchased the AirThings sensor for my home, uh, we could have gotten very ill with radon poisoning. So I contribute AirThings to saving the life of myself and my family. So thank you for that, Kelly.
Well, that's a good story, and yeah, I've had a similar story in my house as well. So,
Yeah.
you know, started working at Air Things, put the device in my basement. Wow, I didn't realize my kids have been growing up in the basement playing games all for the
Hmm.
last 15 years
Hmm.
with the radon at the level it was, and I'm in the place of mitigating it myself right now. So,
Yeah.
radon is a real issue, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. And you're right, there is. The impact on your health is documented and significant.
Yeah, it's the only environmental hazard that has 2 months dedicated to it. November is Radon Action Month, and January is Radon Awareness Month. No other environmental hazard has that. So it's really a serious thing, and I'm glad that you've come up with devices to be able to, do some testing. We went to Lowe's and bought a $12 in-home test, let it rest for 48 hours, sent it to a professional lab, got it tested, and those numbers came back on point with what AirThings said was happening in our home as well. So definitely trust that technology. All right, Kelly, we'll leave it
Okay.
here for now, but thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right,
Look
thank you so
forward to
much.
chatting soon. Bye
Thank
bye
you.
now.
Appreciate it.